Have you ever wondered what really happens after 80? Not just the surface-level stuff, the birthday candles, the slower mornings, the polite jokes about getting old, but the secrets that rarely make it into casual conversation. If you've never had someone sit you down and tell you the unfiltered truth about aging, you're not alone. The reality is most people don't know what's waiting on the other side of 80, not until it's staring them in the face. Today, I want to share with you 7 brutal, life-changing truths about loneliness and growing old that nobody warns you about. This isn't to make you afraid, it's to prepare you, because the more you see coming, the more power you have to live these years on your own terms, with strength, purpose, and a heart that still feels alive. So, if you're willing to listen, let's pull back the curtain together and look at what really awaits. Because yes, some of these truths are hard, but in each of them, there's also a hidden opportunity to choose how you will respond, to shape your story, and to claim every ounce of meaning in the years ahead. Brutal truth number 1. Your social circle quietly disappears. Let's start with the truth almost nobody prepares you for. After 80, your world shrinks. The friends you've known for decades begin to slip away, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. A funeral here, a sudden move there, a phone call that stops coming. For many, the silence comes first. One day you realize your phone barely rings. Holidays pass, and you notice the table is missing more faces than just a year before. The coffee shop you used to visit every morning feels emptier. Even neighbors you once waved to seem to vanish, replaced by strangers who don't know your name. This is the kind of loneliness that doesn't always bring tears or drama. It's quiet, persistent, and hard to name. A dull ache that sits in your chest at night, or that shadow that follows you home from the grocery store. But here's the part nobody tells you. You don't have to accept this as fate. Yes, the world gets smaller. But you can open new doors, too. Join a local club. Start a new hobby, even if it feels awkward at first. Make the call to an old friend before they do. If you're able, volunteer. Give your wisdom, your time, your stories. Walter, 84, once told me, "I thought I was just waiting for someone to notice I was missing." Then I realized I could be the one to show up. Even a single connection, an honest conversation, a shared memory, a laugh, can make the days brighter and keep your world from closing in. Brutal truth number 2. The body doesn't bounce back. Most people don't realize how fast the body can change after 80, until it happens to them. The little aches you used to shrug off now linger. A slip in the garden that once meant a bruised knee can now mean weeks, even months, of lost strength. You might find yourself catching a cold and realizing it takes longer to shake. You wake up tired, even after a good night's sleep. A meal that once energized you now leaves you sluggish. Gloria, 81, loved tending her backyard, proud of how strong she felt. But one minor fall left her homebound, her muscles fading faster than she imagined possible. "I thought I was taking a break," she said, "but my body thought I was stopping for good." Here's what matters. Rest is no longer the cure-all it once was. You must actively protect your strength. Simple movement every day, no matter how gentle, matters. Don't wait for the right time to take care of your body. That time is now, and tomorrow, and every day you wake up. You may not bounce back like you used to, but you can still move forward, at your own pace, in your own way. Brutal truth number 3. You start needing more help, and it hurts your pride. No one likes to admit it, but after 80, the simplest things can suddenly require help. Tying shoes, reaching high shelves, remembering a doctor's appointment. For many who've spent a lifetime caring for others, needing help can feel like a deep loss of independence. You might hide your struggles, pushing yourself to do things alone, even when it's risky. You may not want to bother your children or appear weak. Eugene, 85, insisted he was fine, until a slip on an icy driveway forced him to admit he needed help with groceries and chores. At first, the help stung his pride, but over time, he found something unexpected. Accepting support wasn't a defeat. It was a way of preserving his freedom longer. You don't have to do it all alone. Accepting help, whether it's from a person, a device, or even a reminder on the fridge, is not surrender. It's a smart, strong choice that keeps you safer, healthier, and more independent for longer. Brutal truth number 4. Society starts to overlook you. It's a shock that comes quietly. One day, you realize people look past you in line, or talk to your adult children instead of you at the doctor's office. The world moves fast, and it often forgets the value of slow steps, silver hair, and the wisdom that only decades can bring. Irene, 86, volunteered at a museum, yet was often ignored by visitors who assumed she knew less than she did. The sting of invisibility isn't always obvious, but it runs deep. It's the sadness behind the smile. But here's the truth. You still matter. Your presence, your stories, your voice, they are needed. Don't shrink back. Speak up in the waiting room. Share your story. Correct assumptions. Your life is proof that you have something to say. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Brutal truth number 5. Regret creeps in if you don't redefine your purpose. As the days slow and the calendar empties, an unexpected visitor can sneak in. Regret. Not always dramatic, sometimes just a whisper. Why didn't I call her back? What if I'd tried that new hobby? Did my life matter enough? After 80, there is more time for reflection. Sometimes those reflections are warm and proud. But sometimes they sting, especially if your sense of purpose faded with retirement or the loss of a role you cherished. Stanley, 88, was a beloved teacher for over 40 years. When he retired, the halls and laughter were gone. For months, he felt like the world no longer needed him. "It's not the job I miss," he once said. "It's the feeling that I mattered." But purpose doesn't retire, it transforms. Maybe you no longer lead meetings, but you can mentor a grandchild or volunteer your wisdom. Perhaps you don't host dinner parties, but you can write letters, share stories, or simply listen. The key is to ask yourself, what can I give now? Don't let regret steal your mornings. Each day is a new chance to be present, helpful, loving. Sometimes that means just smiling at a neighbor, tending your plants, or making someone's day brighter. Brutal truth number 6. Losing control over major life decisions. As bodies age and families become more involved, many older adults find their most personal choices, where to live, how to spend money, medical decisions, are taken over by others. Sometimes it's out of love, but it can leave you feeling invisible, powerless, even resentful. Ruth, 85, was moved to a care facility by her children for her own good. She didn't disagree with their concern, but she felt her wishes were overlooked. "I want to be safe," she said, "but I also want to choose what makes me happy." This loss of agency is one of the most painful parts of aging and one of the most overlooked. But your voice still matters. Don't be afraid to speak up, to share your wishes, and fight for them when needed. If you have opinions about your care, finances, or home, say them out loud. Families, listen with respect, Involve your loved one in every decision and never assume you know best without asking. Tools like advance directives, living wills, and having honest conversations about preferences can help everyone stay on the same page and preserve a sense of dignity and control. Brutal truth number 7. The pressure to always be positive and not enough emotional support. Many older people are told to be strong, to put on a brave face, to not worry the kids. There's a subtle pressure to stay upbeat, to suppress sadness, anxiety, or fear. But the truth is, aging brings real grief, losing friends, independence, even certain abilities. Holding in those feelings doesn't make them go away. It just makes you lonelier. Helen, 82, kept her sadness about losing her sister bottled up because she didn't want to bring everyone down. Months later, she realized she'd been suffering in silence, more isolated than ever. You have the right to feel all your feelings: grief, anger, worry, and joy. Find someone to confide in, a friend, a counselor, a faith leader, even a support group. Writing your feelings in a journal, talking to a neighbor, or simply allowing yourself to cry is not weakness. It is honest, and it is healing. Families. Don't always tell your elders to cheer up. Sometimes they need space to feel sad, to be heard, to not be okay for a while. Transformation. Turning loneliness into action and meaning. Now, maybe all of this sounds heavy. Maybe you're feeling that knot in your stomach, wondering if things can ever feel better. Here's what decades of working with older adults has shown me. These brutal truths do not have to defeat you. Each one carries an invitation to act, to reach for connection, to speak up, to accept help, to create new purpose, to allow yourself the full range of human emotion. Walter learned to start conversations with strangers at his favorite park. His circle got smaller, but also richer. Gloria joined a gentle yoga class and slowly built back her strength. Stanley began reading stories to children at the library and found new meaning. Ruth worked with her family to decide together what good days looked like for her. Helen started a grief support group that became a lifeline for others too. You are still the author of your story. The most beautiful thing about these years is that, even with loss, change, and the ache of loneliness, you still get to choose how you meet each day. You can choose to reach out, to let go, to forgive, to set boundaries, and to honor what you truly want. Don't wait for the world to see you. Stand in your own light, even if it trembles. Don't settle for silence. Share your story, your laugh, your pain. Don't hide your needs. Ask for what supports your freedom and well-being. And don't let anyone, not even yourself, tell you that it's too late to make your days meaningful. If you're still here, listening, I want you to comment below. Which of these truths struck you most? Which one will you act on, even in a small way, this week? Your comment, your presence, your courage, they matter. They remind everyone else that we're not alone in these feelings, these questions, these moments of reflection and change. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the button and turn on notifications. Your support helps us keep making honest, supportive content for people like you and families everywhere. Final thoughts. From truth to transformation. If you've stayed with me through these 7 brutal truths, you already have something rare. Courage. The courage to look reality in the eye, even when it hurts. The courage to face down the silence, the aches, the shrinking circle, and the moments of doubt that aging brings. And the courage to ask, now that I see these truths, what will I do with them? Here's the real secret. You are never powerless. Not at 80, not at 90, not ever. You may not control who leaves or how quickly your body recovers, but you do control your voice, your attitude, and your willingness to choose. Action over resignation, connection over hiding, and meaning over regret. The years after 80 can be lonely, but they can also be rich with wisdom, clarity, and a new kind of purpose. Your story isn't over. It's entering a chapter that only you can write, with the honesty, depth, and grace you've earned. So take the first step today. Reach out to a friend, a neighbor, a family member, or even to yourself. Speak up for your needs and desires. Allow yourself to feel joy, sadness, longing, pride. Let yourself be seen, even if the world sometimes forgets to look. And above all, remember, loneliness isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new relationship with yourself, with others, and with the life you have left to live. Thank you for being here. If you found value in these words, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell us in the comments, which truth spoke to your heart? What will you do differently from today? Your voice might be the encouragement someone else needs to take their next step too. We're all walking this road together. Let's make these years count, not by avoiding the hard truths, but by transforming them into the courage to live, to love, and to matter every single day.